Hello there. Now that the reality of Brexit and the subsequent massive black hole this will leave in the EU budget has hit home, Eurocrats are arguing what to do about it. The EU has now realised that it will be about £10 billion short every year once the UK goes its own way. This has started a heated debate in the EU about how to plug that shortfall. The Commission wants the EU to continue as before finance-wise, by member states coughing up half of the money between them and the other £5 billion being found through efficiency savings, which would effectively mean member states finding those savings themselves anyway. No wonder they're looking for a huge golden goodbye from the UK. But this will of course puzzle Remainers, as they believe that Brussels routinely gives out loads of free money to the UK, so why not give that money to the other countries instead, they should be asking. But of course, anyone who's even taken just a cursory look at the EU knows that the money we get from the EU, all wrapped up in blue and gold stars, was half of what we'd given them in the first place. Anyway, the remaining 27 countries will have to put forward their proposals for the next budget period by the 1st of January 2018. Many countries have already indicated that they would rather see the whole £10 billion be cut from the total budget, with Austria's leader-in-waiting Sebastian Kurz saying that his country won't give any more money but expects efficiency savings and EU staff reductions. Finland, the Netherlands and Denmark are also of this opinion, with Latvia open to reduced payment levels that don't affect its own farmers, and Italy has said that it just can't afford to pay anymore. Portugal, however, wants to keep the Common Agricultural Policy and the Cohesion Fund running at present levels, and the bigger net recipients are very unhappy about any spending cuts. Surprise, surprise. Belgium wants to keep the contributions to the EU up, and France is advocating allowing the EU to raise more through direct taxation. So the 27 are not so united after all. Money always seems to trump politics in the end, doesn't it? The UK MEP Stephen Wolfe told The Express, "They are truly worried about that black hole. It's a huge political headache. They've got to sit back at the table and see who's going to add the money into the pot, and if not, where are the cuts going to go? And if there's one thing Brussels hates, it's cuts, because they've got to get 27 leaders around the table, and each of those countries are reliant on the jobs they have built up and the power and influence from the EU funding. It involves a huge amount of negotiations. Who's going to put the money in? Some of those countries can't afford to increase their contributions. You've got 13% of a budget that's got to be redistributed somehow. It means cutting jobs in those countries, or funding who have basically been promised money to keep the EU show on the road, and nobody's going to like seeing their budget cut. Let the games begin, and it looks like a very expensive form of musical chairs. Now on to the European Investment Bank, to which only EU member states can belong. The Vice President of the EIB, Alexander Stubb, has said that the UK may get £3 billion back from the EIB after it leaves the EU. But that will take until 2054, and in the meantime the UK will be on the hook for up to £30 billion should things go financially pear-shaped in the EU. The UK has a 16% share in the bank, says the Telegraph, which the House of Lords European Union Committee has valued at £9 billion, a figure the IEB itself denies. Sounds more like daylight robbery than an investment to me. And in other news, The Independent reports that the chief executive of the bank, UBS, Sergio Ermotti, has said that it is now unlikely that the Swiss bank will have to move up to 1,000 jobs away from London because of Brexit. He said that he had received regulatory and political clarifications that makes the prospect of moving those jobs less and less likely. UBS, he said, has already got the licences it needs to do business in the EU and is looking to keep as many of its 5,000 employees as possible in London. I wonder how many more banks will come to that conclusion over the coming months. Still, what are your thoughts on the EU budget post-Brexit, our money in the EIB, and banking jobs staying in London? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.